They don't pay us to think. They pay us to know. We know we can beat them. There's no excuses why we shouldn't. Win the game, period. W is on 3, man. Let's go. W on 3. 1, 2, 3, W.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sisters. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Rapid React quickly on the R3. Felt good about the performance today. We've got a long way to go, though. Okay, defense with another solid effort. We got a lot of breaks today. One that I was not too pleased with, the Clay Matthews roughing the passer. That was trash, and the league has got to do something about this, because if that was us, if that was Ryan Kerrigan hitting Aaron Rodgers and we got that same call, you would be pissed. I don't want those types of calls, because we wouldn't like that if it happened to us. Luckily enough, the football gods wiped that away. We promptly got a holding and a false start penalty to wipe away that penalty, and we had to punt the football. But we got a lot of breaks today. And football is all about right place, right time, and putting yourself in positions to take advantage of luck. We did that today. So don't feel bad about Randall Cobb having 2 massive drops in this game and a fumble. We forced that fumble, okay? Don't feel bad about Aaron Rodgers being Aaron on a couple of throws in the end zone. We helped press the issue. But a normal afternoon with a normal bad man, those are completions. It's a totally different ballgame, okay? Tight end, Lance Kendricks streaking down the sidelines, wide ass open, drops the football. Again, we'll take it, all right? Wasn't the prettiest defensive performance, but when we needed stops, we found a way to get it. It wasn't always pretty, but it was gritty, and it was a dub. And I told you, I felt good about this football game. Despite all the things we saw last week, I told you, I feel good. And a lot of you were coming down on Jay. We got to get rid of Jay Gruden. He can't call plays. Relax. As a wise man once told me, R-E-L-A-X. Relax. You guys want to kill Jay every single week. Relax. You said he doesn't run it enough. We ran it 33 times. We only threw it 20 times today. I get it. It was wet. But this is what this man does, and I've told you that already. When it's working, he doesn't go away from it. He only stops when it's not being effective. Why would you keep banging your head against the brick wall like last week, for example? We had no success running the football. You don't keep running in that instance. You turn to the pass. Alex Smith threw it 46 times last week. That's a losing formula for us. I told you that, guys, that already. He threw it 20 times this week. That's a winning formula, okay? When Alex Smith has the reliance of the run game, when there's a balance, when there's something that he can fall back on in terms of the run game, we're going to be a dangerous football team. If the run game isn't accompanying the passing game, we're going to struggle. You saw that again today. We got the run game going early. Alex Smith loosened up the defense with the deep shot to P. Rich. Great job of tracking the football, going and getting it, and having the presence of mind to get up and get into the end zone by P. Rich. Great throw by Alex Smith. And we talked about Alex Smith throwing the football down the field last year with the Chiefs, and that was an anomaly. He showed us that he can do it again today. A nice completion to Vernon Davis, VD down the sideline. Nice completion to P. Rich for the touchdown. He showed us the ability to drive the football down the field. We're able to run the football. As my man Redskin Recon said, the Tony Bergstrom revolution will not be televised. Well, looks like we might have to televise the Tony Bergstrom revolution, as he played actually well today. And the shakeup on the offensive line, again, we don't know if this is permanent, okay? Because I thought that they had benched Sean Laval. They turned out to say he's got a knee issue. We'll see how this line combination goes and if they're pleased with what they saw. I've got to go back and watch. I can't tell you with 100% certainty that it was a great day, but when you rush for over 150 yards as a collective team, your quarterback doesn't have a sack on the day, and you are able to amass over 250 yards of total offense in the first half, along with 28 points, mind you. Again, scoring points in the red zone, and not just any old points, not field goals, touchdowns, which is huge. It changes the complexion of the game. Imagine if just one of those touchdowns ended up being a field goal. It's a totally different game. at the time when the Packers were making that run. If just one of those touchdowns is a field goal, you're looking at a one-score game with Aaron Rodgers with the football with a chance to take the lead. It changes the whole dynamics and complexity of the game. So scoring touchdown, huge. We did that today. I told you we needed to get J.C. Ice more involved. I told you we needed to get Jay Reed more involved. And what do? We got those guys involved, and look what happens. You score points. It's not rocket science. Get the football into the hands of your best players. I'd like to see Chris Thompson touch it a little bit more than he did today. But look, there isn't enough footballs to go around, especially. Now, this is the one concern I have. The defense got pressure today. I like that. Jonathan Allen was a man possessed. Congratulations to Daron Payne for getting his first sack of his NFL career. Matt Ioannidis with another sack. And I told you guys, the interior of this Packers offensive line, told you their guard, Taylor, number 65, struggles. Why were we able to take advantage? Because he struggles. We took advantage of that. We ran some TE games and things of that nature. Same thing the Colts did to us last week to try to confuse them. We were able to draw some holding penalties and things of that nature. And we were able to collapse the pocket on Aaron Rodgers. That being said, we missed some sacks in this game. Ryan Anderson had a chance at a sack. Preston Smith had a chance at a sack. We missed some opportunities. Rodgers got out of the pocket and hurt us on some plays. So we still got some work to do. But I like the pressure that we saw from the front four today, especially the interior pressure. All of our sacks came from interior defensive linemen. 2 from Allen, 1 from Ioannidis, 1 from Payne. But it was good to see those guys get home and get to Aaron Rodgers. But we still got a long way to go. The tackling was not sharp in this game, okay? I thought we missed a lot of tackles, a lot of yards after the catch for the Packers in this game, especially in the second half. So that's a little alarming. And we can't be giving up big plays. That play to Geronimo Allison, I'm going to break that down this week in something that I'm going to do new on Patreon. For you Patreon subscribers, I'm going to start doing a Redskins film breakdown there. So I'll have more information on that as the week progresses. But I'm going to show you exactly what happened on that play. And the Redskins knew it was coming, and they still didn't stop it. We'll talk about that later on in the week. But in any event, this is something that we've got to clean up. We can't have the mistakes in the secondary, can't have miscommunications, can't have blown coverages, can't miss tackles. But the thing that really worried me the most in this game, because the Packers gave us opportunities. They should have scored more points. They should have had more opportunities, but they dropped the football. This is the second game that we've had this year where we've had an explosive, dynamic first half, week 1 versus Arizona, week 3 versus Green Bay, and come out and essentially sat on the lead in the second half and didn't. The good teams in the league, you know what they do? They put the foot on the throat of the opponent and crush their larynx in that particular instance. You know what Kansas City is doing? They're putting up 40 and 50 on Cats every week now. They're scoring 35 in the first half, and they're scoring another 14 in the second half. They don't give a damn because they know their defense, they're a little different than us. Their defense isn't good. And they know they've got to outscore teams to win. But the mindset shouldn't change. If I score 28 in the first half, I want to score another 28 in the second half. Against Arizona, they were so inept that 21-0 lead at halftime, it was able to stick because they were so bad. But you go up against better teams and you're sitting on a lead and you're not as aggressive as you were in the first half, teams are going to come back. And we got lucky. There were some drop passes, some miscues, and some things that the Packers did to allow us to hold on to that lead. We've got to be more aggressive in the second half of games. You can't just wait for the other team to implode. The Packers had ample opportunities to cut this to a one-score game, and if their receivers, if Randall Cobb doesn't drop a 4th down completion, if Lance Kendricks doesn't drop a wide-open pass on 3rd down, streaking down the sidelines, we're looking at a totally different ball game that we're sweating out at the end because we weren't aggressive in the second half. I said all of that to say this. I expected to win this game. They went out, they did what I expected them to do. I'm proud of the fellas for getting the dub. I told you we were going to be 2-1 going into the bye week. I fully expect to beat New Orleans off the bye. No one's going to give us a chance in that game. We'll talk about that game on the Redskins report later on in the week. But I told y'all when I broke down the schedule, I'm not afraid of these quarterbacks, man. We can score points, but there must be balance. The defense for the 3rd straight game, and look, I'm not going to get excited yet because I saw some holes in the defense today, and Josh Norman left this game on the final play of the game. I don't know if you realized it. He left, and I'm guessing it's a hamstring. I hate trying to guess what injuries are, but he came up lame on the last play of the game. Luckily, we got a bye week, but you know, those hamstrings are damn tricky. I don't like that. Hopefully, he's okay. In any event, 3 straight weeks, less than 21 points or 21 points or less given up. All right? That's a hell of an achievement for us. We give up generally on average 24 points every week in the past. But this year, we've got a 6, we've got a 21, and now a 17. You've got to feel damn good, and we're creating turnovers every single week. Creating turnovers, those are key. That's what good defenses do. It's not always going to be pretty from a yards perspective. 3rd down was not a good down for us this week. Okay, at one point, the Packers were 6 of 12 on 3rd downs. That's a 50% clip. That'll get you beat. That'll get you beat. But when you force turnovers and you're able to keep teams, what I tell you, keeping teams out of the end zone, boy, does that make a huge difference. A big difference between 21-28 and 28-17. Just one stop in the red zone forces that issue. It's a huge difference. That's the difference between letting teams in the end zone and forcing them to kick a field goal. It changes the whole dynamic. And vice versa. When you're in the red zone as an offense, big difference between kicking a field goal and getting into the end zone. So you see the difference between the two. But in any event, man, I'm just excited. You know, we're 2-1 going into the bye week. Morgan Moses, Momo left this game with a concussion. He's going to have 2 weeks to heal, plus an extra day because we come back on a Monday night. So I expect him to be ready. But, you know, these concussions, they're a funny, tricky thing, just like Josh Norman and his potential injury. Hope it's not anything serious. Looks like a hamstring. But in any event, we came out of this game relatively healthy. Guys got 2 weeks to rest up. I like where we are right now. Okay? But we cannot rest on the fact that we're 2-1 and we've looked good in the 2 wins thus far. We've got a long way to go. But I can tell you this, if we continue to play the brand of football that we played today and we continue to force turnovers, we got a chance not just to make the postseason, not to be a dangerous team, but to win this division. You look at Philly, they're struggling right now. I know they got some stuff that's still missing. Wentz came back for the first time this week. And they still missing Alshon Jeffrey. They had both of their starting running backs out in this game. I understand that they've got a lot of things going on out there, but they haven't looked impressive. The Giants got their first win of the season. The Cowboys are playing the Seahawks right now. I think the Seahawks can win that game. We're in a position where this thing could be up for grabs, but we've got to continue to play sound football. But, hey, it's only 2 wins out of 3 games. But celebrate. We're 2-1 going into the bye week. Feel good about where we are. We'll talk about everything on the Redskins report later on down the line. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. I will see you guys later on in the week. Enjoy the rest of the football. Doesn't the rest of Sunday feel so much better when you get the dub? Man, I can't tell you. I'm racing to the kitchen to go get dinner. Normally we lose. I don't want to eat. This feels great. Feels good. Feels good. I'll see you guys later on in the week. Have a good one.
Louie T Network.